Okay, to begin the lesson, let us review what we've done so far. What we have done is SOHCAHTOA, and the S stands for sine of any angle, let's call it A, is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. Now the C is for cosine of the angle, any angle, is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse. Now, TOA, T stands for tangent, and the O stands for opposite and adjacent. Okay? Now, new for today, imagine that you have an airplane. When the pilot flies the airplane, he's looking straight ahead at the horizon. Now, imagine there's a person walking on the ground, and whenever he or she is walking, he or she is looking straight ahead at the horizon. Now, if the pilot wants to look at the person on the ground, he or she has to look down. Okay, so from the horizon, is have to look down at a certain degree. So that's the angle of depression. So depression means you're looking down. The person on the ground, he or she has to look. She's looking straight ahead, and he or she has to look up to look at the airplane. So that's known as the angle of elevation. So if you're looking up, it's angle of elevation. If you're looking down, it's known as the angle of depression. Okay, now here's an example I have for you. It says a tower casts a shadow that is 60 feet long when the angle of elevation of the sun is 60 degrees. How tall is the tower? Look at the keyword is angle of elevation. That means that um, the angle is going to be going up. Okay. Now you don't have to be very fancy with your drawings. Imagine that this is a tower. Okay, and that the sun is coming this way is going to hit the tower and come down to the ground. So this will be known as the shadow. So tower, shadow, and they tell me that shadow is 60 feet long. And they asked me how tall is the tower. That's the question, and remember this has to be a 90-degree angle. Okay, so to do the problem, first I need to do SOHCAHTOA to help me decide which of these am I going to be using, sine, cosine, or tangent. Now label the triangle. Remember the side that is opposite to the right angle, that is known as the hypotenuse. So this side is the hypotenuse. They gave me the angle of 60 degrees and told me it's the angle of elevation. So one of these has to be 60. This is going up, so this should be 60 degrees. This angle is going down, so this is the angle of depression. So this should be 60. Now, I have to identify what they gave me. They gave me the angle of 60 degrees, so I'm standing here. I have to decide what is x and what is 60. Okay, the x is the side that is furthest away from the 60, so this is known as the opposite side. Now, if this is the opposite, this is the hypotenuse, this has to be the adjacent. Now, I have to use the one that has opposite and adjacent. I don't need hypotenuse. So has hypotenuse, I don't need that. Ka has hypotenuse, I don't need that. So the only one that I need is the TOA. The T is for tangent of the angle. The angle will be 60 degrees is equal to the opposite will be x over the adjacent over 60. Now I get the x by itself, multiply by 60, multiply by 60. These will cancel. So the answer will be x is equal to, plug that into the calculator, Okay, remember when you use a calculator, it has to be in degrees, not in radians. If you're using the Google calculator, that one is always in, well, when you start it, it's in radians. So change degrees, the bottom degrees, to change to degrees. And you plug in 16 times the tangent of 16. And the answer I got is 103.923. Now the time to round the answer to the nearest hundredth place. This is the hundredths. So the question is going to be 103.92 or 1.3. Basically, does that number stay the same or change? It depends on that. So no, it's not going to change. It stays the same because it's not 5 or larger. It's small, so it will stay the same. 103.92 feet. That is the value of x. Okay. Thank you. Hopefully now you're able to do the assignment.